So I hope I'm not the only one who's like this, but are there certain things that you all do only on cruise ships? I've been evaluating the way that I live my life when I'm on cruise ships, and I'm here, half of the year. And there's certainly 7 things that I do only on cruise ships. Hey everybody, it's Brandon, the Weekend Cruiser, where I go on a weekend cruise just about every weekend. So that means I'm on the high seas about 40% to 50% of the year. And my life here is a little bit different than when I am on land. There's things that I will not do on land that I absolutely do all the time on cruise ships. And I wanted to share that with you. The first thing that I'm going to do, and hopefully this isn't a gross one, is I only trim my beard on cruise ships. When I am at home, I hate trimming my beard because if you all have a beard yourself, a mustache, or maybe you're married to somebody or have a partner that has one, those hair trimmings fly everywhere on the sink. And it is a pain to clean up, and I am not a domestic person at all. My beard only gets trimmed on the weekends. I traditionally do it as soon as I get here on Friday, and I trim it right before I leave on Sunday so that I can go those 4 days. I can get back on Friday to trim it again without needing to trim it midweek, but I hate doing it on land. I only do it. Can't tell you the last time I actually trimmed my beard while being on land. The second thing that I do on a cruise ship that I would not do on land, because I feel like people judge me more on land, but on cruise ships, for whatever reason, I feel like I can get away with this. The bread baskets that they bring you in the main dining room. If I am sitting at a table by myself, you are not going to see me going at the butter, the assortments that they give you, spreading it out, putting it on my plate, and then taking it and putting it on my bread. I'm going to go straight in for the butter with my bread. I am not going to be using any silverware. I'm going to pick it up, I'm going to dip it in, and I'm going to eat it straight out of the butter container. And I'm going to double dip the heck out of that butter that's there as well. The third thing that I'll do on cruise ships, and I don't do this with every cruise, but I will absolutely wear a bathrobe when I am on a cruise ship. One of the perks of going on a lot of cruises is you make it higher into the loyalty programs with the cruise lines, and they will give you this perk of having a bathrobe. And they're normally really nice, really heavy bathrobes. And I would never dream of being that bougie on land. Like, I can't see me taking a shower in the evening and be like, I think I'm just gonna throw on my bathrobe and walk around the house a little bit or enjoy, a good book in my bathrobe. But if I'm on a cruise ship now, it is fair game. If I come back into the room and number one, I'm chilly because I've been out in the sun, the room is cool, I'll throw on that bathrobe, or maybe when I get out of the shower, I'll throw it on to keep me a little bit warm before I go to bed. I enjoy the bathrobe when on board, but on land, would never dream of wearing a bathrobe, even though I probably have 2 or 3 of them that I've received over the years. The fourth thing that I do that really needs to stop on board cruise ships is when I am on land, my diet is super healthy. I hate to admit this, a calorie counter to a certain degree. Like, I'm not fanatic about it, but I count them. Then on the weekends, I come to the cruise ship and my diet is through the window. And I kid you not, I will eat anywhere from 2 to 5 desserts per day when I'm on a cruise ship, which is crazy. Like, I eat so well during the week and I come here and I literally throw it away. It's something that I need to get control of. And I would never dream of having 5 desserts in one day on land. Like, it just seems almost impossible that I can even do that. But here on the cruise ship, it is so easy to do. It is so readily available. Like, I'll have a little pastry with breakfast. I'll have a dessert with lunch. I'll have 2 with dinner. They're always there and they are so good. So that's the one thing. If there's a way that I could put myself on the blacklist for desserts on the cruise ship, I probably would, or at least just limit me to 1 per day. That would be much better. But I do eat between 2 and 5 desserts on cruise ships, and that is the only place I'll do that. You will not find me doing that on land anywhere. The fifth thing that I will do on cruise ships is I will absolutely go without the internet. So what I mean by that is if I am on a cruise line that I do not get complimentary internet or it's not included, I don't know if y'all have seen the prices for internet on cruise ships these days, but it is through the roof. It is ridiculous. For a weekend cruise for one device, you're looking at a minimum of $100 to stay connected the entire time. But on these short cruises, you really don't need it. So I will not buy the internet, and there will be periods that I will go without Wi-Fi. The reason I say that is when you're leaving Miami, you keep reception for probably about 2 hours after you leave. When we come into a port afterwards, whether it's Nassau, Bimini, where I am today, I'm going to have reception on my phone. There's no reason why I need to buy it because I can just walk outside and I have reception. The only times that I go without the internet, and I absolutely do this, is in the evening. So anywhere from like 5 to 6 p.m. at night, all the way through when I wake up the next morning, I will go without internet because honestly, it is just not worth the price. Like that $100 is port fees and taxes on my next cruise. Like I don't need to spend that on this one. I'm going to save it up and go to the next one and say, you know what? I'm going to connect with the people around me. I'm going to be present, and I'm not going to use my cell phone in the evenings when we're not in port. The sixth thing that I only do on cruise ships, thankfully, I broke myself of this habit. So you all may remember I was in Boston for 11 years and I loved my Dunkin' Donuts. Boston runs on Dunkin' Donuts. It was founded in Quincy, Massachusetts, which I've been to the original one there, and loved my Dunkin' Donuts first thing in the morning. And I would go and buy coffee every single morning. When I am on land these days, that does not happen. When I left Boston, I still love me a good iced coffee. That is still my absolute favorite drink, but I no longer buy coffees or specialty drinks when I am on land. They're just so expensive, and I'm trying to put that money to going on more cruises. But when I am here on a cruise ship, especially when they're included, I can find a free machine. I am drinking like 3 or 4 espresso drinks per day. Yes, some of them I do switch over to decaf, but they're still an espresso drink. If I was on land, that would easily be $20 to $30 worth of drinks that I'm getting on the cruise ship. But here it's included. So while I'll do it on a cruise ship, you will not find me lining up at a Starbucks or any fancy coffee shop in downtown Miami to be able to get some espresso to be able to perk up some. The seventh thing that I'll mention to you all that I do, and I'm not sure that I'm proud of this one necessarily, but one thing that I will not do on land, if I buy a ticket to a show, I am going to that show. I'm going to sit through that show and I'm going to stay for the duration of that show. When I am on a cruise ship, that is not the case. If me and that show, if we're not vibing, if I'm not enjoying that show, I will absolutely get up and leave that show 10 minutes in, 30 minutes in, even 5 minutes before it's going to get ready in. Whenever I hit the done button, whenever I am just over that show, I'm walking up. I learned as a solo cruiser ages ago, if I don't want to be somewhere, I'm not going to be there. There is no reason to force myself to sit through something I am not enjoying when I'm on a cruise ship. On land, for whatever reason, I've got a different mentality here. Maybe it's because I feel like I've paid for that show. I need to enjoy that show. But when I come to a cruise ship, I'm out. Like I'm going to be here next weekend. I'll catch the next headliner. I'll catch the next show or the next cast that comes on board. I'll figure it out, but I am not going to sit through a show that I don't enjoy when I'm on a cruise ship, but I will on land. And the eighth thing that I do, and this is probably a little bit weird to some folks, is I don't get my hair cut on land. I don't know if that's weird to you all, but I learned that when I come on cruises, it is the same exact price that I would pay, even including gratuity, as a Miami barber or hairstylist. I'm paying the same thing. And since I'm just here so often, I just get my hair cut all the time on the ship. I do not get my hair cut on land because my time on land, when I'm only there Monday to Friday afternoon, I got things to do. I got people to see, places to go. Getting a haircut is not top of my list. And I'm not a huge fan of getting a haircut in the first place. So the only times you'll see me getting a haircut will be on a cruise ship when I've got some downtime, if you will, and I'll get it cut here with the discounts that I get. It is the same exact price. So those are my 8 things that I only do here on a cruise ship. Let me know down in the comments what you all only do on cruise ships. I'd love to have some advice on what else I should start doing. Maybe I should stop doing on land and only do it here. All right, everybody, this is Brandon, the Weekend Cruiser. Hoping to see you on a weekend cruise soon.